Well, I just finished reading my first Japanese novel. The name of it, of course, was Tokyo Express, and it was by a guy named Seiichi Matsumoto. I hope I'm saying that right. Here's the story. There's a couple found on a kind of a rocky beach in the southern part of Japan. They're both dead. They're laid out side by side. And the way the bodies are arranged and, all the circumstances surrounding it, it looks like a kind of a double suicide. Well, there's a local cop who has some nagging questions, I guess you'd call it, into whether it's actually a suicide or not. And he does some preliminary investigations. There's a cop in Tokyo who's part of the police department that's investigating government corruption. And this case comes to his attention, and he shares this country cop's misgivings about whether it's a double suicide or not. And these two guys end up working together, and they've got an obvious candidate for what they now think is a murder. But the guy's got an airtight alibi, and the alibi, it turns out, picking this thing apart, involves looking at train timetables and so on. Now, it's a pretty good mystery. It's got what to me was a surprise ending. And a couple of things about this book. Number one, it's really on the short side. I mean, I didn't put a clock on myself in reading this thing, but I'm quite certain I finished it in under 4 hours. The second thing is that where I thought going into it that the names, the Japanese names, Japanese place names, and so on, were going to turn me off, fundamentally get me confused. I found that they didn't. I understood it quite well as I went through it. The other thing that I thought was, well, if this thing is going to be all about train timetables, that's going to end up being pretty confusing. Well, it turns out it's not. I mean, you pay a little bit of attention to it, and you pretty quickly get the hang of it. And I thought, really good mystery, very quick, very fast-paced, a really good writing style. Now, I know there are a lot of literary critics who regard this as a classic. It certainly introduced murder mysteries into Japanese literature, so I suppose in one way that kind of makes it a classic. The other thing is that a lot of them see this as a parable, so to speak, about post-war Japan, about anonymity, about the size of bureaucracies and so on. I'll tell you what, I mean, if it's a parable, I don't know what the moral is, but I can see how people can think of it in terms of the impersonal nature of a lot of human society. But like I say, I don't see what the moral of it is. I found it a very interesting, very enjoyable read, a nice break from reading all American and British literature. I thought it was pretty good. So I'm happy to recommend it. Tokyo Express. I got it on the Kindle. That's my suggestion for this week. Tune in next week. I know I'll have another one. Take care.